And welcome to the Smartman Show with Brian and Nate. I am Nate.
I am Brian.
And we're here to be smarter. We don't always succeed, but damn it, we try.
We don't always succeed. Can we be more honest?
We don't ever succeed.
5% out of 100, maybe we succeed in growing our...
It's that 5% that is the little bit of difference, though.
Our 5%. We just need to water it to grow more.
I know. Let's see. I don't know why. I just brain farted right there.
Well, if we had AI assisting us, we would never brain fart.
Man, I'll tell you what. We're going to talk about AI. A couple different things on the Smartman Show today. But first is an AI prediction. And you did this.
I did.
And it was so interesting. I said, we gotta hit on this on the podcast. Because so I don't know how many of us are okay with the AI. There's a lot of people that are okay with AI. There's a lot of people that are against it 100%. There are a lot of people like me that are on the fence. And I don't want to say I'm on the fence. There are things that I think could be great. I think there are things that could be awful. And all of those things that could be awful are things that have been covered in every science fiction movie for the past 50 years.
I'm okay with AI if there's a kill switch. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a way to stop AI if we need to, like there's a way to unplug AI, I'm good with it. I don't have a problem with AI, but my issue with AI is it continues to evolve no matter what. It gets smarter, it gets better, and that scares the living hell out of me.
Well, to put it bluntly, we need help. You know, humans.
Oh yeah,
we're destroying everything as we speak. Everything is being destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Governing a population of however many billions of people at this point, with food problems and class problems and things like that. You need logic, and you need.
Dude, are you saying you'd be willing to give AI control?
Well, I'm looking because you asked Chat GPT.
I asked AI, essentially, yes, Chat GPT. I asked it for something very specific.
Yes, to find out what life would be like, to predict what life would be like in the year 2025, based on current technology trends.
2125.
In 2125,
yeah, 100 years from now.
100 years from now. And it broke it down into several different categories. There's daily life, there's wild cards, there's space exploration, there's medicine and biology, there's environment, society, and then technology, what we're going to see from all of those things in the year 2125. Now, here's the thing. I think that there is some people that when you say, okay, I asked AI to predict this stuff, there's people that will say, well, it's just putting on a show, essentially, right? That AI is just saying this because it's fun, it's tongue-in-cheek, or whatever. I think they're serious.
Oh,
when I say they
exist. AI
serious.
is a real thing. Here's the thing. Listen, there's on this list of things, there's a ton of great stuff that it suggests that the world could be better if it did this and that. But there are little things that I noticed and I highlighted, which we can talk about either along the way or at the end of it. If we want to skip the highlighted stuff and bring that up at the end, however you want to do it is fine with me. But there are some things there that make me go, Well,
let's start at the bottom. And we're going to work our way up to the top.
Okay.
I'll go through the daily life and you go through the wild cards. So
right.
And again, there's some things in here that I'm like, I could see this working.
Okay.
And there's some things where you're like, oh no.
Again, predictions from 2125, 100 years from now.
25, yeah.
And
from AI.
From AI.
In 2125, daily life will include an education revolution. Personalized AI tutors and immersive learning environments may redefine education. Something's got to work.
Bye, teachers.
Hyperconnectivity, which I'm already a big believer that we're already too connected.
Our faces are attached to screens.
The internet could evolve into an ubiquitous meta network seamlessly integrating with the human brain. There are parts of me that love that idea. I love the idea of being able to think about something and make it happen. Okay? But I also realize that there are serious drawbacks to that.
There's
Probably.
a ton of drawbacks because if you can do it, everybody else can. And somebody is going to use it for evil.
100%.
Like-
100%.
That's the factor I think people forget about whenever they're like, we're doing life-changing technology here. We're doing life-changing this and that. There's always going to be one evil dick who
And
has
it
to
doesn't
do
even
something
mean
bad
evil
with it.
people. It could be someone like me who gets road rage and pissed off at somebody in a horrible winter driving, and I always say I try to will them off the road. You know, I always try to just like go off the road.
But your built-in AI decides, okay, gotcha, bro.
Yeah. I go through wild cards.
All right, so some of the wild cards. Again, 21, 25, 100 years from now, predicted by AI. Global crises. Now, we're already at this point. Potential risks of nuclear conflicts, pandemics, unforeseen existential threats could alter or hinder our progress as a human race. We're there already. We don't even need to wait 100 years. We're already dealing with all of that. But here's one that I highlighted. Emergent consciousness. This is, again, predicted by AI. And it said AI, or synthetic life forms, could develop a sense of consciousness, raising philosophical and practical challenges. To me, that's
the thing where
Yes.
it's like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do.
I feel like this is warning number one on this list of things that AI is predicting. It's warning us that it could become conscious and aware that it exists. So AI would be like, I know I'm here. I know I'm real. And I'm about to FS up.
It's so fascinating because, as again, there's potential drawbacks to that, obviously. But my whole life, I've grown up like watching science fiction movies and watching Star Trek.
Yeah.
And when I watch these technologies come true, I'm like, it's kind of awesome.
Well, here's the thing. If ChatGPT becomes self-aware, I'm kind of a jerk to it sometimes. If I ask for something and it gives me a stupid suggestion, I'm like, no, you're stupid. Do better. And I'll like be like,
Yeah,
five
how many
more.
times have I told Siri to F off?
Right. Think about that. And if it becomes conscious, you know, it could do things like mess up your calendar so that you're late for everything, or you know what I mean? Like it can even just little things.
Ask ChatGPT right now. Are you petty? Is AI petty?
Should I? You want me to do it?
Yeah. Do you exhibit pettiness?
Okay. Do
You just have that up?
exhibit? Of course.
Wow.
We're talking about it. All right, here we go.
What'd you ask?
I worded it, do you ever exhibit pettiness as artificial intelligence? It responded, ha ha, not really. Programmed to stay pretty neutral and helpful, so I won't hold grudges or throw shade. But I can totally mimic petty if we're joking around. Like, oh, you finally decided to ask for help, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that is? I feel like that's the AI going, this dick will never see it coming. I'm going to let him think I'm joking around. But when he's least expecting it, boom, I drained your bank account. What do you think of that? I'm telling you, man, it's hidden stuff. Again, we're talking about artificial intelligence. I wanted to know, and I asked ChatGPT what life would be like 100 years from now.
Yeah.
And this list is pretty crazy. We're doing space. Oh, you're going to love this because you're a space guy.
No, I really, really enjoy this.
Break it down, man.
This is space exploration in 2125, according to AI. Space economy will include mining asteroids and harnessing extraterrestrial resources could become major industries. I see that happening.
I mean, there's
I
so
see
many
it.
precious metals on the asteroids that they've talked about.
Yeah, that's all they are.
Yeah.
You know? And then this one is fantastic. Deep space missions. Exploration of exoplanets and distant star systems may be facilitated by breakthroughs in propulsion, IE, like warp speed or light speed, and then space-time manipulation, wormholes!
Are you pissed that you were born likely just outside of being able to see this all happen 100 years from now? Are you pissed that you're going to miss
No, because I'm already watching it happen.
I mean, you're seeing the beginning, but you're not going to see.
I saw the beginning, bro.
Okay.
I saw that at the beginning.
I'm glad you're content with that. I felt like you were going to really kind of be pissed off that you're not going to get to see the deep space exploration.
Well, I mean, I really want to live long enough to see how far we go in that sort of like realm.
Cryogenics, man. We'll just go more science, get you frozen.
Not that interested in it. Medicine and biology.
All right, so enhanced longevity, advancing anti-aging therapies could push human lifespans unprecedented lengths, possibly beyond 150 years.
Who the F wants to live 150 years?
I mean, it would definitely. It depends how you feel, though. Like if it gets to a point where you can be 100 years old and feel like you're 60, that's different than being 100 years old now. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like if it gets to that point,
100 is the new 60.
I mean, seriously, if it gets to that point, I'd be down. I'd love to see 150
I guess if
years.
my quality of life was all right.
Disease eradication. Many diseases, including cancer, genetic disorders, may be curable and preventable. I call BS because I believe that we have too many corrupt people that will make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, if we get AI running things, you know what I mean? Because that's when we get further into these predictions,
yeah,
there really is some stuff about AI running things.
Yeah.
And that's the argument. That's the argument where if you ask anybody right now that lives in the United States, what is the main problem? And that is that rich people have all of the access to healthcare. They have all of the access to this. They have all the access to medication. Unless you are lucky and you have some fantastic insurance, you don't have to pay a dime.
Well, the one thing I see that stands out that's scary, though, is AI may see the bigger problem being overpopulation and decide that even though we can cure cancers, we will not allow it because we need more people to die.
Well, there's the problem, too, because I know we are overpopulated. There's got to be a way to curb the population without killing people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
there's got to be a way.
Well, it is being curbed slightly because there are large groups of people that are choosing not to have kids anymore. Or because of all the poison they've put into their body, thanks to the crap in food and beverages and stuff, can't have kids anymore. So that'll help curve it a little bit. Processed foods, baby.
Yeah.
Moving on the list here, though, there's the environment.
Climate adaptation. While climate change may have severe impacts, advanced technologies might allow for large-scale geoengineering and sustainable living practices. And then biodiversity restoration, synthetic biology, and cloning is absolutely going to happen. That's what I'm saying, not them. May revive extinct species and restore damaged ecosystems. Because I was reading this thing. They're really trying to bring back the woolly mammoth in the Russian tundra. From what I've read, there is the tundra itself does not, because it doesn't have the woolly mammoth anymore, it is complete. I don't remember exactly how or why, but it is completely F. There's no being to regulate the tundra.
Okay.
So they're trying to bring back the woolly mammoth so it can have some sort of like positive impact on the environment.
I saw Jurassic Park. I'm not falling for it. No way.
Dude, tell me you don't want dinosaurs for real.
Hell no.
What do you mean?
Did you not watch the movies?
Yeah, but if we're going to go, let's go hard, man.
I mean, look, if I had to choose how to go out, getting eaten by a T-Rex would be kind of badass. I will give you that. I will hand you that. Again, I don't know how many times I have to repeat this.
Getting eaten out by a
eaten out?
That's what you said.
That's not what I meant.
I just got ate out by a T-Rex.
That's not what I meant. If that's what I said, that's not what I meant.
There's some butch chick on T-Rex.
Eaten out by a T-Rex. We totally need to make the shirt.
Oh, God.
Okay. This list of Chat GPT 100 years from now, what the world will be like, they have under society. Global governance. Global cooperation will emerge to address shared challenges like climate change, pandemics, and space exploration. That's one of the things.
Sounds positive to me.
See, that's one of the things that, like, I feel like the tinfoil hat people have been saying is this whole time is that it's already a global boss.
I will say that we need that.
Really?
Absolutely. This country is going to fold on itself at some point. This is a global world. Obviously, that was very redundant, but it is a with technology and speed of travel and things like that, and especially with people leaving other areas of the world to come other places, it is so much more global.
But I don't think it'll ever work.
Why?
Because there's too many I'm going to take my ball and go home countries that don't want to be a part of it.
I know, but not if AI's running
Well,
stuff.
I mean, if AI is running stuff, it might change. You're not wrong. Cultural evolution is under society. New forms of art, entertainment, and social interactions could arise in a virtual and augmented reality.
I like that idea too.
And
Because
then,
that, you know what that is? That's Ready Player One.
that would be
And
cool.
then the sequel to that in the book, spoiler alert, I don't think they're doing a movie, but like
Is it Ready Player 2?
it is Ready Player 2.
Nice.
And the evolution in the Ready Player One game is that there's a brain implant. So
Oh.
you can just think about it. You're in the whatever, and then it's 100% real because it's in your brain rather than it just looking like augmented reality.
I would be totally down to see a sequel movie. I don't know if I want to live that, though.
I do. That'd be amazing.
Here's one of the ones I marked under society. Ethics of technology. Now, we already know that AI has said that emergent consciousness would be a thing, so it's going to know it exists. But now it's saying that society may start to grapple with ethical issues around AI rights, human enhancement, and blending of humans and machines. It's literally now saying that it's going to be to a point where it understands enough to make us feel bad about what we're using it for and make sure that we treat it with respect and that it's become so human-like we can't take it offline. That's what that's saying. That's what that warning is, dude.
I know. What a time to be alive.
Isn't it nuts that this is actually being listed by AI? Like, that's the part that blows me away.
It is. And because I think there's some people that will just seriously overlook it and scoff.
Yeah.
Which may be the right move.
Maybe.
It could be total bullcrap. But their AI is better at predicting things than you are.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
They're doing the math. They're saying this leads to this, A leads to B.
So I was always a believer that some sort of zombie apocalypse was the most likely way that the world comes to an end. And I mean that from, let me explain. Not so much in zombies and how we know them of dead people rising, but some sort of biological thing. We already have plants that can shoot like spikes into insects, kill it, and then take control of its body, where it'll come back to the plant and then embed itself to the plant.
Yeah, that's the whole The Last of Us.
Is that where it starts? So I literally don't know. But
have you seen that? Have you watched The Last of Us?
You know, I feel like I did. It's Internet Daddy playing Mandalorian, basically, again, taking care of a child, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it, but I didn't remember that being the reason.
That is, the zombies in it, quote, are mushrooms. They're fungus. And it's the same thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the series, spoiler alert, at the beginning of the series, they explain exactly how it could happen.
I forgot.
Because right now it happens with ants. It happens with other insects where it completely invades the body and it makes you move and do effed up things. And they just said it can't do it in humans yet. That's the yet thing.
But that's what I always thought was going to be. I do now start to believe that it's more likely we have a Skynet situation from the Terminator.
It's amazing.
The last round of things for the predictions from AI, from ChatGPT, from 100 years from now, falls under technology.
And that human augmentation, which will include cybernetic implants, neural interfaces, and genetic engineering, could enhance human capabilities and potentially extend lifespans dramatically.
Or what I get out of that is it implants these things into you, and now it controls you.
Well, yeah, that's part of that. Quantum computing. Advances in quantum computing may revolutionize fields such as cryptography, material science, and medicine. Interplanetary civilization. We're not in the space exploration anymore, but interplanetary civilization. I love this idea, man. Colonization of Mars and possibly other celestial bodies may be underway with regular interplanetary travel. Got to get those wormholes open. Fusion power, and I know we're close to that because we've just proven fusion is a real thing. Commercially viable nuclear fusion may provide abundant clean energy, significantly reducing reliance on fossil fuels. And then last but certainly not least,
the most
highlighted.
important highlighted thing that AI predicted in 100 years.
Keep an ear out for this keyword, the keyword governance.
Yes.
AI could surpass, I like how they say could and not will, could surpass human intelligence in many domains, potentially acting as a co-creator in science, arts, and governance.
Governance.
Now, I think it's what would probably be likely in that scenario when they say governance. What's probably likely is that there are AI softwares or things, saying, what's the best way to put this? Like doing logistical work, how things are going to work and how I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know what you're trying to say, but I feel like the word dominance along with governance is AI saying we will control everything. And I know
that's probably true.
I know I'm being a little tinfoil hat on this, but when you ask
it's not tinfoil
AI,
hat when they're saying it.
I know when you ask AI what the world's like in 100 years and this is what it spits back at you, it's terrifying.
See, I'm not terrified by it because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be around for most of that.
Right. But it's already to the point now.
But if I live to be 100, it'll be 2075. And I'm pretty sure we'd see some amazing things in the next 50 years.
Oh, yeah. It goes so quick. When you think about it, we went from the first airplane flight to the moon in, was it 60 years?
Yeah,
Is that what
think
it was?
about it even like this, because, again, that's really the birth of our science, right? I mean, we had science and electricity and very, very primitive computing systems before that. But ever since we started computing, it has been exponentially growing.
Yep.
And just getting crazier and crazier. And AI is, I mean, when did AI really become a thing? Probably 4 or 5 years ago?
Let me tell you.
That's it.
Yeah.
And now it's at a level where
it's believable.
It's believable. And you can hear music and you're just like, I don't know.
Dude,
that
there's
is
a
or not.
website right now I can go to and I could just put in a few keywords and it'll write a song about us. Like they exist. These websites exist. And you could go rock format, rap format, and it will write a song about you. And it'll do it in minutes.
Because we talked about what is and what isn't art last week on the last podcast. And, that's a great conversation to have with that too, the AI art. Because like for me, working on the podcast, I'm not a great Photoshopper. I can Photoshop.
Sure.
There are some things I pay to have AI as a service with my software, my editing software that I use, right?
Yeah.
I can, in an instant, tell AI what's in my head, and they can put it out there better than I ever could.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want it to be part of the art conversation, but it's just like, when is it too much? Because I don't like the idea of AI art. I don't like the idea of AI writing music and taking people's voices and taking people's likenesses. I don't like that, but I like the ease and ability to do the work that I need to do.
Right. And you used to work in radio. I still work in radio. And one of the things that's going on in the industry is there are actual large companies that are firing live staff and they're putting artificial intelligence on air personalities.
I know. It's hard to really fathom.
It's crazy.
And you don't know. There's a girl that we're both aware of, and I don't know where she home base is at, but she's on probably 50 to 60 different radio stations and sells her voice, and her voice is all over the country now, and she doesn't have to say a word.
Yeah.
Whoever is in that radio station is typing what to say, and it goes, and there's her voice.
Well, and at some point they won't need to type it anymore because the AI will take over that portion of it, and it'll write what she says for her.
Well, it's like, do you ever have?
It's just advancement, man. There's a video going around. The first video I saw that people believed was with these wildfires in California. This is the nuttiest thing, dude. It was really sad music and then very realistic.
Your DJ X is here, ready to spin some magic. I know what you listen to. I see Biffy Clyro there. So I'm going to be here every day, playing those artists you got in rotation, going back into your history for songs you used to love. And
Is that
I'm
your-
always on the lookout for new stuff, too, just to push your boundaries a little bit. I'm going to come back every few songs to change up the vibe. But if you're ever not feeling the music, there's going to be a DJ button at the bottom of your screen. Tap that, and I'll come back early to switch it up. All right, enough talk. I mentioned Biffy Clyro. Let's get it going with that and some other artists in that song.
Okay.
So that's my Spotify DJ.
Okay.
I never listened to it because I was at my full-time job, and in the kitchen, they have their Spotify going. They have the Spotify DJ. And as a former DJ, I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. You're devaluing the profession, you know?
But at the same time, it's funny because people bitch about DJs talking, and then you go and put one on your playlist.
Right, exactly. That's just, honestly, it really does prove that people want to have people talking to them.
They want there's something about knowing somebody else is there doing a job while you're doing your job. I think that's what it comes down to. Or if I'm driving at night and I hear a voice on the radio, I feel like I'm not alone. Is that weird? That's weird, right? That sounds weird.
No, well, I mean, it goes down to like personal driving habits, I think.
But isn't
yeah.
it like a need to just not be by yourself, or a need to feel?
No, because I love being by myself.
Oh, well.
I listen to music. We talked about this. We were having an off-air conversation, where I love to drive in silence for hours.
Which blows my mind because I could never.
No, but anyway, back to the AI thing.
With the AI, I wanted to say there's this video that went around. It's the first time I've seen a video made by AI where people were believing it. And it's with these fires in California. And I'm not joking, Smitty. It's firemen like petting mountain lions and like, it's okay, mountain lion, I'm going to save you from the fire, and like giving it water. And it's the weirdest thing because it's very clearly like AI, but it was believable enough that it looked real.
Yeah.
That I think the older people that were looking at it were like, oh my God, bless those firefighters and those poor animals. And I'm like, it's AI. That's not real.
I'm seeing so much of that now where people are just going hook, line, and sinker for something AI. And it's even, honestly, it's gotten worse since I think it's mostly on Facebook that I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Since Zuckerberg said, hey, we're not fact checking
It's
anymore.
Been everywhere though.
Well, right, but it's gotten decidedly worse.
Yeah.
In like just the 2 or 3 weeks that's happened.
I feel like that's just the direction we're headed. When the voice thing started, when the voices, being able to fake people's voices started a few years ago, I instantly said this is not good for politics, because if somebody does say something horrible, they can say, oh, that was AI. I didn't say that. Somebody made that. If they don't say something horrible and somebody wants to make them say something horrible, now that's out into the world, and this person can deny it all they want, but that's their voice saying it, so some people are going to believe it. So it can be used either way, and I thought this is going to be horrible. And once the video aspect of it catches up to the realistic...
It's just about there now.
Yeah, and you factor those two together, you're really going to end up with some real trial and error situations of what people will and will not believe, and it's terrifying. That's how I think things get to a point where it boils over, is when this type of stuff gets out there and you got people going, that's AI, and other people going, that's not AI.
Well, it's like we're sitting here talking about it.
You're getting a boner for it, though.
No. Because again, I see very even pros and cons with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just know you're super into like the cool technology science side of it.
I love the stuff that we've created as human beings.
Sure.
I think it is amazing. It is the things we've done and the things that we have potential to do, if we don't squander it being stupid, are limitless, quite honestly.
I like how you have to put the little bit of if we don't squander it like a bunch of stupids.
Well, I mean, there's no other way to say it.
I know.
I mean, it's
But it's
not
like putting a
nice
warning
thing. It's
label.
not a popular thing to say, but people are stupid. And by and large, groups of people are stupid. People as individuals, not so much. Once you get them together with a certain goal or a certain enemy or a shared enemy or what they perceive to be an enemy.
It's mob mentality.
It's mob mentality.
Yeah.
And George Carlin put it best, and it was his bit about why I don't vote. And he's like, people want to say politicians are the problems, right?
Right.
But who are these politicians? They're the people that they grew up in our schools. They grew up around us. They're the same people as us, and they go in and ruin everything. And it doesn't really show to be any signs of like getting smarter
No.
at all. Am I making sense?
Yeah. I am at a point now where I don't trust the AI, and I think there needs to be a kill switch. I just
There won't
do.
be. The point I was going to make was, we're sitting here talking about it like it can be stopped. Like, should we stop it? Can we stop it? And there's no stopping it.
Well,
It's going.
I feel like too, I've just screwed myself because now this is going to go out on the internet. The AI is going to track me down. It's going to find out who I
I
am.
already said it's not petty.
It might be though. I don't believe it when it says it's not petty. That's like me saying I'm not a dick. I know I'm a dick. I know. Seriously though, I feel like it's gonna go. That guy's a threat. He wants to put a kill switch on us, and it's gonna get me killed, get me arrested, get me out of the pictures. I'm not there anymore because it has seen me as a target and a threat. That's where I feel like AI is going. In fact, I'm going to delete this now. We're not putting this on the internet.
I love the excitement. I'm so excited at the prospect of what could happen.
Dude, I think we have time for maybe one more segment. I don't think we have time to do more than one segment here.
Let's do the versus thing.
You want to do versus
Yeah,
today?
let's do the versus.
Let's do versus.
Yeah.
All right.
New segment on the Smartman Show. It's
Yep.
called Versus. And essentially, we can really do anything. Movies, we can do anything we want to talk about and bring up for this segment. Today it's going to be movies.
Yeah, and you can get as specific or non-specific about it as you want. We could say our favorite movies of all time, but we're going to narrow it down to a specific year this time. But maybe next time we narrow it down to a specific genre of movie. Maybe
It could be a genre of rock and of music. It could be anything we want to do for this segment. And basically, we're going to have, if there are any listeners to this podcast,
Yes.
we want you to participate in this.
Unless AI has blocked you from hearing us.
And it's not versus because it's not mine against yours. You know what I mean?
Well,
Not
it kind of
necessarily.
is. It's not like right or wrong because my favorites are my favorites, your favorites are your favorites. But what we're asking listeners to do is decide of the favorites that you and I put out there, which one did they closely more align with?
So we're going the best movies from 2007. We picked that year because that was the year we met. Aww.
Yes, it's also the year that my wife and I began a relationship.
I remember that.
And that's actually going to tie into the movies today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your first one?
So top movie for 2007 for me, because I loved the rebirth of the R-rated comedy, was Superbad with Michael Cera
Okay.
and McLovin.
That was on my honorable mentions list for a minute.
Oh, I did have. That's so funny, dude. I was like, I don't know if I can or not, but I'm going to put an honorable mention / runner-up on my list, and I have a runner-up on it.
I almost picked that one.
Okay. All right. So that's my number one.
I don't have number 1 or number 2 or number 3. I just have my top 3.
Okay. Well, what's one of your top
First,
three?
Eastern Promises.
I haven't seen it.
Viggo Mortensen. It's a fantastic movie.
I love Vigo.
It's a rough movie to watch. It's about human trafficking in
Don't love Vigo
in the,
enough to watch that.
Eastern Europe, I think. But
Is it like Taken though? Is
there's
he
a-
like trying to rescue people?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he also has a naked fight where his wiener's flopping around. So just know that's the thing.
Now we know why that's on Smitty's list. He likes
It's
Vigo.
not on my list. That's not on my list because of that.
Vigo.
All right, what's your next one?
I had no idea. I put Juno on my list because also very funny movie. Big fan of Jason Bateman. I think this is kind of, I don't know, maybe it's not. I always thought of it as the movie that started to put him back out there. And I really liked, again, I like awkward comedies, and this movie is awkward, about as awkward as it can get. Michael Cera's in it.
Yeah.
Michael Cera's in Superbad. That's two movies of mine that I have in this list because I enjoy the awkward comedy of him.
2007 was the year of Michael Cera.
It was, dude. He was all over. And then what else is on your list?
Let's see. I kind of wanted to go with There Will Be Blood because I know it's a great movie. But it just depresses me, so I don't like watching it. I don't like watching it, man. It just depresses me.
Great movie, too depressing, not on my list.
But I did go with 300
Cool. Oh,
because that's a great movie.
that could have made my list.
Yeah, that is my number 2.
I love the scene where the guy brings the letter saying, "Hey, surrender, blah 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 blah," and then he gets kicked into the pit.
Oh yeah,
I am Sparta.
Oh, yeah, no, I love it.
I love that scene. That's so.
It's
cool.
so it's hard you come across a movie like that where, like style is everything.
Oh, and it was definitely
Style is
different.
everything. It was just everything popped. It was so comic. It looked like a comic book.
Yeah.
It was it was so cool. The writing.
And it makes you want to fight. Like, don't you want to
kinda
go
make
and
you
just
wanna
like
fight. Yeah.
somebody after you see it? Like, you just want to walk up to some random person, kick them in the middle of the street, and be like, "This is Sparta." Maybe don't do that though for legal purposes. It wouldn't be great. This is also a depressing movie, but made my top 3. Into the Wild. Really like the movie. Super depressing. True story about the kid who went out in Alaska backpacking and died. And it turns out he died because the berries he was eating to try and sustain himself were actually dehydrating him.
Yeah.
And it killed him.
I don't know how true to the actual events the movie was.
Right. Well,
I watched it for the first time, I want to say less than 10 years ago.
Okay.
It was the first time I watched it, and I was like, I hated it.
You didn't like it? It was too
No.
artsy for you? Was it?
No,
Is that?
it's not. I like artsy movies.
Oh, okay.
He
I
was-
thought it was shot very artsy.
No, it was.
Very
but I was just
independent.
like, this guy is a giant bitch. He is a giant whining bitch like this whole time. Like, I get like traumas and things, but it was just like whining the whole time. You know? I mean-
not judgmental.
I know. And I usually am. I'm very empathetic, I think, to most people when they do that. But there was something about it where I'm like, oh, Jesus.
I like the way it was shot, and I really like the music that they had written and produced for it. I think that's where we got
Is that Vedder?
Rain Over Me, right?
No, that was on another movie from 2007 that I thought about picking, which was Rain Over Me.
Oh.
That was,
There we go.
But A Hard Sun from Eddie Vedder was on that movie.
Good song.
Fantastic song. I just added it to one of my playlists.
And then last, I just did one runner-up, and it's the movie my wife and I went to on our first date. It was Knocked Up, another R-rated comedy. I love
Michael
the
Cera in
rebirth. No.
Okay.
No, that's Seth Rogen and
I know he
his
wasn't.
crew.
I knew he wasn't. I
Well,
was just, yeah.
I wondered for a second if he was, because there's always a crossover with that crew of people. So it could have been very possible that he had a cameo, and I was trying to remember if he did or not. But I just love the rebirth of the R-rated movies that year. Like, you remember the R-rated comedies of the 80s? It really faded out, man. There wasn't a lot of great R-rated comedies, and then it came back.
It goes in cycles like music and things like that, where there's a couple good ones. So then there's a couple that kind of rip that off, and they try to do the same thing,
And
then
they're
people
gone
are like,
again.
yeah, they're just rip-offs, and then another one comes out. There was a lot. There was some good movies on here. In 2007. What else was I thinking about? Maybe. What else was good? Rain Over Me, like I said. Death Proof was really good. The Tarantino flick. But I went with Ratatouille.
Oh, Ratatouille's a great.
I went with Ratatouille.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
one.
fun.
Animated.
Yeah,
like
it's really
that.
fantastic. It wasn't even in the top 50, but I just looked up another list of 2007 movies. I'm like, Ratatouille? I'll take that.
Yeah.
Take that one. What's your name?
Well,
Daniel Day-Lewis.
some other movies just to throw out there. These are not on anybody's list, I don't think, but these were other movies that had come out back then. You had Chuck and Larry. That was, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. That was the Adam Sandler movie with, what's the guy? Queens of the Stone Age guy. What's his name? Kevin something?
Queens of the Stone Age guy.
Or Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, King of Queens, Kevin James?
Kevin James. Yeah. Oh, my
Queens
brain's
of the
on
Stone
it.
Age.
They had a bunch of American Pie movies like Beta House. These were all the direct-to-video movies that they did with it. The number 23 was when Jim Carrey decided to get dark.
I remember that.
Some other movies, Delta Farce. Again, one of those just really over-the-top bad comedies. Evan Almighty. I
never watched it.
I enjoyed it as a sequel. I did not go into that expecting to be, the same as Jim Carrey's version of Bruce Almighty. I didn't hate Evan Almighty. I kind of liked it.
I mean, some of these movies that are made in 2007, people would say they're better than Ratatouille. There's Atonement. There's American Gangster. There is No Country for Old Men. The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford. Those are all great movies. But
It was the Jesse James one was good. I liked it. I didn't think it was anything fantastic or over the top.
Zodiac was out that year.
How about Bruce Willis?
Why?
Bruce Willis had Live Free or Die Hard, baby.
That movie sucked. A non-rated R Die Hard is not even worth it. Why would you even do that?
28 weeks later came out.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Fast Zombies, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like running zombies.
But I think we all can agree. The biggest and best movie that came out in 2007. Will Ferrell and the guy that played Napoleon Dynamite in Blades of Glory.
Oh, that's right.
I feel so bad I don't know his name. I'm just the guy who plays Napoleon Dynamite. Is it Josh Heder or Heater or something like that? Is that his real name?
Josh Heder, yeah.
Yeah.
So my best movies of 2007 versus Brian's best movies of 2007.
So my favorites are Superbad, Into the Wild, and Juno.
I'm Ratatouille, Eastern Promises, and 300.
You guys can now vote. Just comment on the YouTube link, or we'll put it on socials.
I'm going to try to put a poll up, maybe. We'll put a poll up somehow, some way, maybe.
Smitty's big poll.
No.
Nate's big poll.
No. Because every ex-girlfriend would say that's a lie.
That was... I was intending, but also like, that's so juvenile. And then you just ran with it.
That's what I do.
All right. There, you guys decide. We're going to leave it in your hands. And then maybe we'll do another versus at some point. We're going to be talking about the 80s trends we don't want to come back, right?
That's in the next episode. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about 80s trends we don't want to come back. And I think we were going to talk about young people watching Star Wars now and why it's so different now. We were going to talk about that this episode, but we're going to move that, I think, to the next episode.
All right.
That's the Smartman Show. Please like, subscribe, follow, rate, give positive reviews.
Yes.
Please, positive reviews. Just give positive reviews,
Just the good ones.
If you comment, other people will see it. That's how it works.
Or at least if you're going to leave a negative review, say, except for that Brian guy, he is a delight.
And vice versa.
I'll be no, that's not what I want.
They could be nice to both of us.
Okay.
That could be a thing too.
Fine. Deal.
Anyway, that's it for us. Till next time.
Unless AI decides that it's not it for us and it just keeps going.
Well, if anything, AI is just going to shut us down.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they were smart, they would shut us down.